And we are ready to go. Right, good evening everybody and welcome to, believe it or not, our very last webinar for the year. It's actually quite weird when you think about how quick 2013 has just absolutely flown by. And so much has happened in this year. What are we going to do tonight? It's nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. I'm just going to go through some of the highlights of some of the major currencies that I've handpicked. What has happened. I was just saying to a friend earlier on that I work with these currencies on a day-to-day basis, and you tend to forget or lose sight of what all has happened and what the general trend has been from, let's say, a year ago. And that's where I'm going to start tonight. I'm actually going to take you back exactly 1 year. And I'm going to show you what has happened with certain currency pairs. Like, for example, the pound dollar is one, euro dollar. We're going to look at the gold price. And last but most certainly not least, we're going to look at the rand dollar, or should I say dollar rand, because remember, you always use the stronger currency first. So that's what it's all about. And then what's happened with ACM Gold over the last year, and what do we have planned for you in 2014. So without further ado, let's get going, shall we? Nice and simple. Sit back, relax, top up your tropical daiquiri or your eggnog if you're into the eggnog thing, and let's have a blast in the last section of our webinars for 2013. I'm going to cut the camera out for now, and let's get going, and I'll see you in a few minutes again. Okay, there we go. The highs and lows, as it were, as far as ACM Gold is concerned. First things first, let's have a look what happened here. The pound USD. Now, exactly a year ago, the pound was standing at 1.6164, and then it suddenly spiked. Yeah, right at the beginning of January. It shot right up to 1.6377, and then, of course, everything started coming loose at the seams. And if you cast your mind back, why were these things happening? Does the name Cyprus ring a bell? Okay, remember what happened over there? It had a huge impact, not only on the pound dollar, but also on the euro. Okay, but mainly on the euro. So that's where that downhill plunge began. And it slowly slipped all the way down, and it reached its lowest on the 12th of March. And we did see a short-term recovery period. This went until about the 17th of June, and then, bam, it fell for a second time. And this time, it reached the lowest for the year 2013. And this was on the 9th of July. Quite an interesting fact there. However, not all gloom and doom, as they say, because, yes, it started recovering slowly but surely. It started climbing right back up to, and at 12 o'clock today, midday, the price was back up at 1.6387. So we are looking at the price being higher today than what it was exactly 1 year ago. Let's show you roughly what the graph looked like, shall we? That's what your graph looked like over there. And if we look here, okay, that was the beginning of January, so round about there. There is where it all started, and there was this massive plunge. Look at that. That was an enormous plunge. Okay. And then started going up, recovering a little bit, and boom, and here we go. That is when it reached its lowest for the year 2013. But as you see there, it's actually quite nice to see this kind of recovery taking place, where it's now going up. It's almost like one of these mountain goats climbing a mountain. Climbs a bit, goes down a little bit of a dip, climbs up again, and it's climbing up very nicely. So I think it's quite an impressive graph there. From a investor's market, what a pleasure. For trading, etc. Wow, I tell you one thing, guys, not only on the pound dollar, but on the euro dollar, a lot of people made a lot of money. It was a trading market's dream. Absolute dream. And talking about the euro dollar, let's see what happened there. Well, exactly a year ago, the euro dollar was sitting at 1.299, almost 1.3. And once again, it's very similar to what happened to your pound dollar. Okay, it spiked briefly to 1.37 in February, and that's where the downward spiral started, taking it all the way through to the end of March. And then you had a second big drop, and this happened between June and July. So as you can see there, look at that, that was quite a drop. That was a massive, massive drop. And the good side of the story is, yes, the euro recovered. And in fact, look at this. Look at that price there. And look at this price. That's a really nice recovery. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Let's have a look at the graph. There we go. And isn't it amazing, hey? I mean, you've got the pound dollar and you've got the euro dollar. Now, the euro and the pound are the two main currencies being used in Europe. Okay, but yet look at the difference of those graphs. It's actually quite astounding. I think this is why I love working with Forex so much, is because this, you can never really predict what's going to happen on the market. I suppose to a certain extent you can, but there comes that time where it comes up, it sneaks upon you like one of these Rottweilers in the dark, you know, and it just throws you a curveball. So very, very interesting graph. This is quite an amazing thing here. As we look at towards the end of October, there was a big, big drop there. I mean, there was 2, 3, 4 drops straight after each other, and quite a nice recovery. Look at that there. So it's looking very, very good right now. Gold price. Everybody's talking about the gold price. Now, wow, this is one of those little dark horses. I tell you, the gold price has been catching a lot of people off guard because everybody expects the gold price to just climb and climb and climb and climb. Well, I think you're in for a little bit of surprise when I show you what the graph looks like. Okay, so there's been a steady drop in the gold price. Okay, so exactly a year from now, your gold price was sitting at 1720.92, and it steadily dropped. Now, look at this, guys. This is something very interesting. I was actually looking at the graph again this morning, and there was some big movement that suddenly took place. Now, at 9:45 this morning, South African time, your gold price was sitting at 12.56, and from 9:45 to 11:45, there was a big drop, a nice big dive from 12.56 to 12.39 just in that time. Now, unfortunately, I was sidetracked, so I do apologize. I didn't go and see what the gold price is looking, what it looks like right now. But you know what? I've got a bit of spare time just now, and I'll quickly go onto the graph, and we can have a look at where it's sitting at, let's say, 6 o'clock South African time in the evening. But your biggest drop was on the 9th of April. This was a massive, massive, massive drop. Guys, this was, once again, it was a trader's dream. If you caught it on the right foot, wow. I tell you, you probably still smiling from ear to ear. It's just your ears that are stopping that smile from wrapping all the way around your head, that's for sure. Because look at that. On the 9th of April, between the 9th of April to the 28th of June, you had a drop from 15.89 to 11.79. And one of the reasons for this was that there was the gold price went past a certain resistance level and people panicked. And suddenly everybody that had gold started dumping gold. And it just carried on and on and on and on. It just went crazy. And I'm going to show you the graph in a moment. But that price that you see there, that 11.79, that was the lowest that this was for the whole year. So very, very, very interesting. Look at this graph. This is quite amazing. Wow. There we are looking at, in fact, look at this. This is roughly now the 23rd of August last year. And there was a steady, steady, steady drop. And then bang, look at that. Wow, that was a mean one there. That was around about the beginning of April this year. A huge drop. And you can imagine the amount of gold that was just being dumped and dumped. Oh, my word. It must have been a frenzy there. So, and there was a slight bit of a recovery, but no, it just came down again. And you often find, now look at this graph. We often refer to the McDonald's sign in trading. And you go and look at your graphs. They do have this tendency of following the McDonald's sign, the M's. Look at that. and they just follow, 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 and there we go. There was the lowest it was for the whole of 2013. So really, really amazing. And look at it, it hasn't really recovered that much. So you know what, guys, I want to put a challenge to you. How about you give me some feedback, send me some emails and stuff, and then when we open again in the beginning of January, I would love to see now who was spot on with the prediction. What do you think is going to happen with the gold price between now and the 9th of January when we run our very first seminar for the year? So or webinar, shall I say. So come on, let's have your predictions. I'm really curious to see what your predictions are and what do you base them on? Come on, let's have a bit of a challenge. Have some fun here, shall we? Last but not least, when we now start running off, guys, I could have spent hours and hours just going through all the currency pairs and get heavy technical, etc., etc. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to make this a nice, fun evening. I'm going to, however, just keep a pen and paper close by. I'm going to give you a link that you can go to, where if you want to now go back and see what were the reasons for these different things happening, almost on a day-to-day basis. A very interesting link that we discovered, and I'm sure this will help you quite a lot. So let's have a look at the dollar rand. Now for our South African clients specifically, because remember these webinars are international. So over the last year, what has happened to our dear old rand? Well, look at this. How's this for a big surprise? Exactly 1 year ago, your rand was sitting at roughly 8.61 rand to the dollar. And it has steadily been climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing right up to 10.36 rand. That was roughly at midday today. Now, for the guy that's trading against the rand and for the dollar, wow, you're smiling. Okay. However, for us poor suckers that live over here, you can just imagine the impact this has on our economy. You know, prices go up, fuel prices and e-tolls, and Lord alone knows what next. So it's really been a pretty dismal year as far as the rand is concerned. And I was just reading some reports earlier on. The worst is not over yet. They're predicting that there's a strong possibility it's going to get worse. Okay, by how much? Well, can't really say, but I just hope, I really do hope that they are wrong. But this was the interesting part. Look at this here. Your quickest climb that we had in the rand, so this is basically the weakening of the rand, okay, was the 3rd of May to the 11th of June. Now, for those of you who live in South Africa, what was happening over there? What was the biggest problem we had? Yes, you're right. It was all those riots and things on the mines. There was riots, there was protest marches, and there was a lot of things happening. There was a lot of unrest and uncertainty in the country, and people were unhappy, and there was unemployment, and businesses were closing. Like, for example, when they had the riots on the mines, on the platinum mines, the impact was so enormous that a lot of these guys had to close their doors. And needless to say, a lot of these people lost their jobs. So, you know, the world sees this, and they say, oh, shoot, I don't think I'm that confident in the SA Rand anymore. So, you know, I don't want to become a political kind of guy, but I'm saying to the unions and so, guys, think carefully, man, please. Look what you're doing to our economy. Here is the proof in the pudding. Lord almighty. Hey, last year, 8.61 rand, 10.35. And then, of course, what happened now, we all heard on the 5th of December, the passing of Nelson Mandela, and and look what happened there. It spiked the very next day. Went right up to 10.56, and that was the highest it went, or shall I say the weakest it went against the USD since last year. And it's quite scary. It really, really is. But let's not have it all doom and gloom. Let's have a look at this. There we go. There is the graph. How do you like that, eh? Now, if we look at this, 1st of August, right about there. Look at it. That's right about the middle of August over there. There, the rand was looking good. That was just below 8 rand. It looks at roughly about 8 rand and 7 cents to the dollar. and then wham, there you have it. And it's just steadily be climbing, and well, that's where we're sitting with it right now. Close the business tonight, I'll be able to see what the final figure is. So, in a nutshell, it's been a very interesting year for everybody on the trading side. Why I specifically selected those three currency pairs is because they are very popular, especially your euro dollar and your pound dollar. Very popular currency pairs. And yeah, and as I said before, the people that traded those, man, you caught it the right way. You made a lot of money, I tell you that. And yes, sure, there are the guys that didn't catch it the right direction. And I hope and pray that they used things like stop losses and things, because I know there are some that didn't, and they burnt their fingers quite badly. But now, ACM Gold and Forex trading. Let's have a look at what happened with us in the year of 2030. I'm just going to take some of the highlights. And one of them is, remember when we moved to South Africa 2.5 years ago, our primary goal was we want to expand huge, massive, absolutely big into Africa. And one of the neighboring countries is, of course, Botswana. A lot of business opportunity there, and we are currently working at opening up our new office in Gaborone. Okay, we've had lots of meetings and presentations, etc. Needless to say, there's a lot of red tape that one has to go through, and things have to be approved and authorized. So keeping our fingers and toes crossed, I'm feeling very positive and strong about this. And early in 2014, we will then officially have an office in Gaborone, Botswana. So good luck to you guys out there. We're looking forward to the business you're going to be bringing our way. Okay, as far as the general platforms and things are concerned that we use, all right, what happens here is the MetaTrader 4 stopped using the Mirror Trader and Zulu Trade. Now, this upset quite a lot of people, hey? Plenty of people were very upset because they relied on these Mirror Traders and with Zulu Trade, etc. But I just want to summarize. I don't want to go into detail there. It was, in a nutshell, it was a security breach. They weren't happy about it, so they said, no, that's it. We're stopping that, and that was the last we heard of them. But I've got some news for you. Wait, I'll keep that for last. Got some lovely news for you. We moved our servers from Boston Technologies, okay, over to Panda. And one of the reasons why we did that is, of course, well, there's a bigger selection of trading pairs and commodities and indices and stuff like that. So we're quite happy with that, and we've had a very nice feedback from the clients that have been using the platform. And yes, who remembers the introduction of the web trader the first time? Quite an interesting concept. We introduced the web trader and created it specifically to help your novice traders get on their feet with a simple, straightforward platform. Don't forget, if you want to go and look at any of our videos, we've actually recorded videos on how to register for the web trader and how to go about using it. We also officially launched the Sharia account. This is a very special type of account exclusive to our Muslim clients based on their religious beliefs, etc., etc. So this is not just for anybody. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail there, but yes, we've got a special Sharia account. So if you do have any Muslim friends that are thinking of coming on board and their concern is, but you know, is this the right way to go? Because my religion says X, Y, Z. Tell them, listen, give these chaps a call. They've got something that covers specifically that. Because, I mean, you must remember, the owners of the business, they have the same religious following. So they understand where you guys are coming from, huh? And, of course, our beauty, there we go, the Kruger Rand account. Well, that one, it didn't quite take off as well as we thought. I must be honest with you. I think people were a little bit nervous. A lot of people came on board thinking, oh, fantastic, I can now buy Kruger Rands, physical Kruger Rands. And no, that wasn't the case. This is something that you could actually trade the same way you trade gold, silver, copper, etc. So, where to from here? What's on the cards for 2014? Well, let's get my ugly looking mug back onto the screen, shall we? And let's see what's happening here. Right, 2014. Wow, have we got some exciting stuff waiting for you guys. Really, really exciting stuff. First things first, I've already covered that there. We're busy. We're in the process of creating our new branch or office in Botswana, which I think is going to be absolutely fantastic. There's so much enthusiasm coming from that part of the world. Our big brass have been to and from. They've gone and done massive presentations, which have been, the support and the attendance is it bowled us over, I promise you. So definitely, these chaps, they mean business. They really, really do. Have a look out for our new website. We've been revamping our website, and yes, we've had some technicalities when you try to go into the old website and you wanted to go into members, login, and stuff like that. Guys, we're sorry about that. Unfortunately, there was like a conflict with the programming. It's that as soon as you change something here, it affects there. I'm not an expert in the programming side, but this is where it all came about. But listen, guys, when you see what the new website looks like and what they've got on there, wow. My first webinar I'm going to be running in the new year will, in fact, specifically be what is on the new website. You do not want to miss that, because there is mountains of stuff in there. If you think we had a lot on this website, please, nowhere near it. So there's massive, massive things happening over there. The other thing we're going to have, we were talking about the web trader earlier on. Well, some good news. We have got a new and improved web trader coming up. Once again, we're still in the testing phase. I love what they've got. It's much more user-friendly. It's more space to work. There's a lot more fancy buttons and settings on there, which I quite enjoy. All right. So there's a new web trader coming on board. Very, very, very nice. I believe the bosses have been telling us as far as bonuses and special promotions and things are concerned. But I tell you, those are so tight-lipped about that. They're not going to leak anything to us. But I believe they've got some fantastic stuff coming our way. So just watch this spot. Okay, things are going to happen, I promise you. And overall, 2014, everybody's feeling very, very positive about. In the company itself, we've got some lovely growth taking place. We've got some new faces who will be joining us in January. We're saying goodbye to one or two old faces. In particular, we're going to say goodbye to Joy, our lady that you often chat to when you phone in. Well, she's moving on to greener pastures. She's going to continue her studies. Well done, Joy, and thank you for all your hard work. We do appreciate it. So that is basically it in a nutshell. And, of course, to get right into the Christmas spirit, there we go. There. I've been dying to do this. I want to just say to everybody, guys, have a lovely Christmas, okay? Wherever you might be going, drive safely. May you and your family have a wonderful time. May no harm come anywhere near you. May you come home to a beautiful surrounding, your home intact. None of these little you-know-whats having been in there. May Father Christmas answer all your letters. And yes, dads, I know you sent letters in, so don't pretend, okay? The kids have seen those letters. All right, so have a fantastic festive season. To all of you that have been watching the webinars over the last year, thank you for your support. To the guys that come and visit us, actually sit in the room here with us, thank you, Richard. And God bless. You take care of yourselves. Merry Christmas. And may 2014 be mind-blowing. May this be the year where you're going to make so much money in your trades that you can finally say to your boss, "Tot ziens, bro, I'm finished with you." Have a good one, guys. Take care. Cheers now.